We back. We're here with more Tatsumaki commands, and I'm gonna go over some utility ones this time, because there's quite a few Tatsumaki commands that are pretty useful in terms of utility, and a lot of people don't know how to use them, don't know they exist. The main one of these that I'm going to talk about is the info command. So if we have a look at that, it'll give you some information about your account, and the main one that people pay attention to is account created. It will tell you when you made your account. It will also tell you when you joined the server that you are in, and it'll also tell you how many roles you've got, nickname, ID, whatever, other useful stuff. This account created and join date is pretty nice. A lot of people are always interested in this sort of thing. It's a little bit of a flex if you've got a really old account. If you have a 2015 account on Discord, you are actually stonks. Good job, good on you, congrats. That is the real OGs, the 2015 accounts. But anyway, putting that aside, yes, there you go. That is how you do that one, for instance. I see a lot of people saying, oh yeah, what bot is it that does the account created one? To tell the truth, a lot of bots do it. I would say like 50% of utility bots have something like that. But Tatsumaki is a good example because it's in pretty much every server, and it is certainly utility bot, but this is not the only one. This is not the only utility command. So if I pop over once again to the Tatsumaki website, you see there's a whole list of utility commands here. We've checked out tinfo, which shows information about a user, but there's a good few others here. So for example, we have here tserver, which does a similar thing as you would expect, but gives you information about the server as instead. So we've got the server ID, region, shard, members, whatever. Server owner, that's me. And then we have the date that the server was created on. Obviously that's the same date as my join date because I'm the owner. But yeah, more cool info. And we have server profile here, we have my profile here. If you do want an avatar though, there is another command for that. We can again check on here and we can see where it is. T-avatar, what a surprise. Just wanted to show you that. It's fairly self-explanatory, these commands, and that's going to give you your avatar. If I want to get someone else's avatar, I just ping them afterwards. So for example, I could get Owobot's avatar there. I'm pretty sure you can also use IDs if you don't want them to get pinged as you do it. There you go, see, that works very nicely. I would suggest doing that because randomly pinging people for commands is a little obnoxious, and bots that don't allow you to use IDs are a little obnoxious. Most bots will allow you to use an ID in place of a ping for something like that, and Tatsumaki is certainly a good bot, so it's one of them. Medea is the same, and I'm pretty sure Owobot does as well, although most people don't use it, so I'm honestly not sure on that one. But yeah, there you go. Pinging with IDs. We also have a couple of other ones, some that are self-explanatory. Channel, for instance, pretty much the same as server, but for channel. Color, this is pretty much just a hex color picker, but you can find a better one on Google. If you do want a hex color picker, seriously, just search hex color picker. Google has a very nice hex color picker. You can do stuff and it will just give you all the values. Very cool, would recommend above Tatsumaki's one. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's a utility command. So it's all good. We've got maths, again, calculation with substitute, fairly self-explanatory. We have T-remind me. T-remind me is good. I use T-remind me a lot. T-remind me is what I used to use to remind me about my hunt bot before I started using reaction bot, but I use it for a bunch of other stuff. So I can put T-remind me, this is the message, so I'm going to call it test. We put an in, that's to signify how long we want it, and let's just have it in 10 seconds, right? Assume it does test 10 seconds, there you go. You can shorten this stuff, lengthen it. Most iterations of the suffixes on the times is going to make sense for you. So S for seconds, M for minutes, H for hours, D for days, you know, whatever. And then you can do any combination of these as well. So if we wanted, I could do 1 minute and 10 seconds. You can put a space there as well if you want. You don't have to worry about syntax too much. In general, Tatsumaki is going to understand what you mean. It's really good about that. Of course, it depends. You can mess up the syntax, but as long as you use something reasonably sensible here, it's probably going to pick it up. And as you can see, it sent me a DM after this 10 seconds was up with test. As you can see, I've got a bunch of random reminders here about various things, mostly eBay. So there you go. And then I'll get another one in about a minute now, telling me about that one. So yeah, to remind me is really good. Obviously, reminders in general, pretty helpful. Lots of people use them for lots of things. But if you are on Discord a lot, and Discord is the best way to reach you, to remind me is pretty good, because it can be a pretty good reminder. We have roles, which shows you information about the roles in the server. This is reasonably self-explanatory, but we'll check it out anyway. So what we can do here is I can ping a role, right? So I'm going to ping, for example, this E role, right? It tells me the ID of the role, position, which is kind of interesting. That's the position in the roles list. So if I look here, you can see it's above a lot of roles, pretty high near the top. We've got 24 roles. I pinged the second E, so this is number 23. So that's pretty useful. If you want to know how many roles there are, you can ping the highest role and find out. But if you're pinging the highest role in a server, be wary, because it's probably the owner. And it's probably not pingable either, so watch out for that. It'll give you the color as well, which is quite nice if you want to nick the role for something. For example, this hex color for this role, as you can see, is the same as the Discord background. So if you use this color, you can't see your name. That's fun. So yeah, feel free to use that. And it'll tell you if it's mentionable or anything else. Obviously, I'm owner, so I can mention it anyway. It does even give you the creation date of the exact role, which is pretty helpful, to be honest. It can be helpful anyway. It can be cool, I guess, is more what I should be saying. We've got shards with the shard number of the server, not really the most helpful thing for regular users of Discord anyway. T usage is kind of interesting. We can have a look at T usage. It seems this command has actually been disabled for the moment, so I guess we won't be looking at that one. Oh well. But it's kind of interesting just to get a bit of stats, you know. So I could just have a look at the role command, which is here. I'm pretty sure this is the syntax. Funnily enough, this is not a command that I use often, so I can't remember if that's entirely correct anyway, but I guess we won't know because it's been disabled. But yeah, have a look at that if you want some stats. Like I say, it's a utility bot, we're good. And then the final one here, and the final one that we'll go over today, is Emoji, which is also pretty good. We get some stats on custom emojis. So which emoji shall I pick here? Let's grab a Raftalia Pat emoji, see what that says. So this is just going to say the name and the ID requested by Steve. It gives me a little link to the actual emoji, which is pretty useful. And then I think if we send one from this server, it'll give some extra info. So let's try that, although I'm not entirely sure about it. Okay, it actually won't. That's kind of a shame. But what this can be used for is like nicking emojis, because if I then click on that link, you see in Chrome it's opened up the image, so then I can save that image if I wanted to and use it in my own server, which is pretty helpful. It's very similar to a lot of utility bots. Sniping, for example, can be used to steal emojis and put them in your server. But Tatsumaki has it too, which actually a lot of people don't know. So there you go, you use it to snipe emoji. As you can see, there's a lot of cool uses for Tatsumaki's utility commands. It is a utility bot. I would say in general, when it comes to utility bots, have a look at their commands, because some of them are pretty good. And every time I see someone saying, how do you check how old your account is, what the bot is, I cry a little bit on the inside, because so many bots can do it, and you know that whatever server they're in, there's a bot that can do it. Probably multiple. Tatsumaki is just my personal one of choice, because it works really well. But anyway, I will leave this one here. Bye!